Hello everyone and welcome to Brandy's Cards. I hope that you are enjoying my masculine card series. It has been so much fun to share with you. Today I want to celebrate my new craft room table that I had built a few months ago. And so I pulled out this really cool stamp set called Vintage Tools. And I thought this would be a really great card to give to my neighbor who helped me build this craft table. He helped me bring my vision to life. And so I just thought that that would be really, really fun because we're making cards for those great guys in our life, whether it is our husband, our son, our neighbor, our grandfather, whoever that might be. There is plenty of opportunity in stamp sets and those beautiful colors to make those great cards. So I'm excited to show you this totally tool card. It's vintage, and it says strong, solid, dependable. And then on the inside it says you're plain awesome. He was, man. He did a great job on this. So thank you, Mr. Carpenter. I appreciate you so much. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I created this card. If you like my project today, please be sure to click the like button or give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe so that you are notified of some upcoming videos. Of course, I love to share with you, and I have a lot more planned. So really thrilled to pieces. So make sure you give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna jump right in and show you how I made this card. Super easy. You're just gonna need your stamp set. And let me show that to you one more time. So fun. If you have someone who likes carpentry work, or isn't that funny? The gentleman that built this is Mr. Carpenter, and he's a carpenter. So I'm sure he's heard that before. But anyway, so this is pretty cool. So if you have somebody who likes building or anything of that nature, I think this would be the best stamp set to work with. Grandpa Dave, who helps me often, he likes to come in and he's our fixer man. So when I think of Grandpa Dave, other than golf, I also think of our fixer man who has all the tools that he could ever need or want. And so, and the funny thing is, I say that he has all the tools, but his crafters, they're probably thinking, yeah, we have all kinds of crafting tools and supplies too, right? So that's okay. It, goes hand in hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our background piece, this piece right here. So I have two colors here. I've got Memento Black and Sweet Sorbet. Now I feel like I've used Sweet Sorbet for the last 3 weeks, but that's okay. You could either use a real red if you wanted, or a Poppy Parade. There's plenty of different colors, but I think due to the fact that this is so new and I love it so much, I've been wearing it out, which my husband says I do. So here we go. He means that in a sweet way, because I generally do wear things out. If I really like it, then I'm like, oh, I'll just stick with it. So I'm going to ink this up in Memento Black. This is my hammer. So I'm going to add that right about in there. Perfect. And then I have one of my other little guys, and I'm just going to kind of add that right up in there. And then let's see here, what else? So I also need this guy. Yep, I need this one and I need this one. So I'm gonna grab a couple of blocks here. Looks like I pulled them out, but I didn't mount them. So let's just go ahead and do that really quick. And so I am gonna just kind of add those on there. And so let's just add this one. That one looked like I kind of got heavy on the ink on that one. And sometimes when that happens, it's just better to either clean it or stamp it off so that you can start over and then re-ink that up. All right, and so let's do this guy. And so let's just make sure it's nice. And I'm going to kind of bring that one down in that direction. Perfect. And then we have some fun screws. And so let's just add those kind of randomly about. Oh, I need another hammer down there, don't I? So let me put my hammer down there so then I know where my screws need to be. So let's see, kind of get that inked up, and let's add it right about in there. See how easy this is so far? Just fun. I'm honestly just having fun randomly stamping these things kind of around. There's no rhyme or reason, honestly. So just have fun with it and just see what kind of design you can come up with. All right, so let's go ahead and before I put all of this away, I am going to clean my finger here because I can already see I've got some black on it and I'm afraid I'm going to touch my project. So I've got some different colors here and we're going to block our sentiment. And so I'm going to stamp it 3 times and I'm going to stamp it on all 3 colors. So we're going to stamp it on granite gray. We're going to stamp it on the sweet sorbet. And then I'm going to stamp it on old olive. Now I'm really only cutting out certain pieces of the sentiment in this different colors. Now I know old olive I'm doing strong and I felt like my stamp on this one I didn't love as much. So I just re-stamped that and the others I'm totally good with. So I'm going to set that aside and let's just jump in here and kind of prepare for putting our card together. So solid is going to be in granite gray. Now you can switch it up, of course. You can do any colors that you would like. These are just the colors that I've chosen. But if your guy in your life likes blues or more greens or anything like that, change it up. Yep, there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're just kind of having fun and letting our creativity go. So this one, I think I told you was going to be strong, right? So this is scrap, and I will end up putting this back into my scrap bin. So I like to save all those little scraps for things like this that I'm kind of one-off type stuff that I'm, not really, using it as a layer necessarily, but stamping on it for another part of my project or my card. So let's do that. And let's go ahead and stamp the inside of the card while I have all of this stuff out. So let's see here. Let's grab our hammer, make sure I'm in frame, and I am going to ink up my hammer, and I'm going to get some of that ink off there. But I'm going to ink that up, and I think I'm going to do it right about in there. Oh, rats! How are we going to fix that? We got a sploogey. So probably what I would do is I think it's probably the perfect place for some screws. Yeah, I think that'll work. Because if you, screws and just kind of add some things on there, it'll be okay. So let's grab this piece and kind of put that over there. And then let's do some more screws. And so here on the inside, I kind of envision, well, I do envision adding another message. And so I will show you that message here momentarily. Okay, so the next thing that I'm looking forward to sharing with you are these amazing, oh yeah, split card texture dies. These are in our new annual catalog. So you can find them here in the back of the catalog in our dies. These are all of our various bundles. Oh my goodness gracious. So much funness, so much fun to work with. Okay, so they're called split card textured dies. And I know that you are going to love them. They're so fantastic. So here they are right here. And so there's 2 designs that come in here. And let me show you. I have them right here. So check that out. So what I did is I cut a piece of designer series paper, and then I set this die and I ran it through my cut and emboss machine. And then when I took it off, I had all this confetti, right? This little square confetti, but it just made this fantastic background. So it was really, really cool, and I was excited to create with it for sure. So let's go ahead and put our card together and see how this all kind of comes together. So this is a piece of gray granite. I could have cut it smaller, but rather than worry about that, I basically just cut it enough that I knew when I added this piece that that I would have full coverage of the gray granite underneath. So I'm going to add this piece next, and I do want to glue it 100% down. So I'm just kind of adding my liquid adhesive all along the edges, and I'm going to add this here to the front of my card. Perfect, to the card front. That's great. Okay, Now what we're going to do is I have both a sweet sorbet and I also have an old olive piece here. I am going to just go ahead and cut my own little banner edge. If you have a triangle punch or you have a punch that has kind of that 90-degree angle edge, well then maybe you use that. It definitely makes it easier and you would get a more perfect, right, than kind of my freehand banner edge. But I've never really minded that actually. But anyway, because sometimes I think less is more. I'd rather maybe work on getting another stamp set than worry about some of these kind of things that really aren't that big of a deal. So here we go. Let's add this piece to the front of our card. And I'm going to glue this right about here. I'm going to try to keep it in the center. Yep. And so let's see. Let's go ahead and take it up just a little bit. And then this piece, I did this on purpose where, you know, it's kind of up at the top and kind of over the bottom. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, every little layer just adds another element of, you know, of dimension and texture and that sort of thing. So there we go. I have that. And now let's flip this guy over and add our foam adhesive dots behind here. So we're going to do that. And then what you're going to do is we are going to take and clean our stamp. And then you're going to want to stamp your hammer again in Sweet Sorbet or whichever red you choose to work with on your card. So you're going to stamp it in the Sweet Sorbet. And then after you did that, this is what it's going to look like, right? So you're going to restamp the hammer. That's what it will look like. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it out. Now you could certainly use the dies. I did not pull the dies out for this set. I really wasn't die cutting anything. You know, I really wasn't cutting anything out or popping that up. But if you are, then definitely you're going to want to pull out those dies. This was quite an easy piece to color. And so that just popped it right off of the card, didn't it? It just really kind of added something special. Now you could make a green handle. I feel like I've seen hammers with green handles, like old olive handles. So there you go. So that's fun. And then remember, we did our blocking, strong, solid, and dependable. So let's add those. Now, potentially, if you enjoy embossing and you have some white embossing powder handy, maybe you emboss these. Yeah, maybe you emboss them and then you add them to the card, you know, and you kind of block it out. And it's kind of that really cool white embossed on the cardstock. I didn't mind the black actually. I thought it was kind of fun and it reminded me of a tool box and the tools, and I felt like it kind of went with that theme. So there you have it. There is my vintage tool card for you today. Super fun. Of course you could decorate your envelope. I could even see gluing the gray granite, the solid piece on your envelope, and potentially die cutting and adding this piece on top of it. As long as you made sure you glued it down really well, it would probably work just fine. Now here, let me show you the inside finished. So this is the card I did previously. And so here would be your inside, your plain awesome. Now, of course, you can add more color and do more things, but I kept it kind of simple on the inside. So there you have it. So I hope that you enjoyed this card. If you like it, please like and subscribe. I'd be truly grateful if you would do that. And leave me a comment. I would love to know what you're thinking of these masculine cards I've been sharing, and if you're enjoying them, if you're inspired by them, and maybe if you have a suggestion or a stamp set that you might like to see me create with. I love to read your comments, so I would just be so grateful if you would just say hi and let me know where you're from. That would be fantastic. Of course, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know. I'd love the opportunity to help you and send you our new annual catalog. It is really fantastic. Pretty amazing idea and inspiration book for sure. So definitely reach out to me. Of course, there is a PDF tutorial that you can download on brandyscards.com. So go to brandyscards.com and you can select card tutorials, go to the masculine tab, and you will find this card, or you can search with the magnifying glass vintage tools. So that is there as well. Now, as I'm talking to you, I realized that I forgot to tell you what the designer series paper was that I used. So here, I'm going to show you. I just walked over here and saw it and was like, oh, I totally forgot. So this paper, I'm going to come under my camera, is called Sun Prints. Absolutely beautiful. So this is the front or the back, whichever you want it to be. And then this is the other side. And so I used this beautiful piece here. So this is the designer series paper. It's called Sun Prints, and it is available right now in our annual catalog. So that is the designer paper that I used. So again, if you don't have a demonstrator, you need a catalog, please let me know. Would love to send you a complimentary copy, answer any questions that you have in hopes of earning your business and being on this crafting journey with you. If you're one of my current customers who, you know, I just thank you so much, who are on this journey with me and have just all your love and your encouragement and your support. I'm just truly grateful. So thank you. You inspire me every day, and I want to create and I want to share more and do better and be there for you. And so I'm just truly grateful and just love you all to pieces. So thank you so much. And I hope to stamp with you again soon. Take care. Bye, everybody.